So even I used to do that, like staying up till 3 or 4 and like just revising instead of solving past papers, or maybe just going through it
Yeah.
mentally, or just sleeping as well. It's always you do that. It's very common,
Right.
but I would say you shouldn't be doing that.
Welcome to Decoding Academic Success, the podcast that goes beyond books to give you secrets of academic excellence. I'm your host Arav Bijur, and I'm here to give you tips, tricks, and secrets in how to achieve in your academics. So, get a notebook, a pen, and a highlighter if needed, because we're here to decode the secrets and mysteries of achievements. Let's get started.
So, welcome to Decoding Academic Success. Here we have Rituja with us. She's amazing in basketball as well as physics, chemistry, and all her academics. So here we are with her today to understand about these secrets and tips and tricks in biology. Hi Rituja.
Hello.
So Rituja, can you tell us what is your strategy to master these biological terms, definitions, and their meanings?
Mostly, if you see about biological terms, they are mostly consist of keywords. If you see in bio, what matters are the keywords and the context they're related to. So, my strategy is to look at the keywords, what they want exactly, like maybe solving the past papers, seeing the MS. So you see that and you get to know that what are the keywords they
Right.
want instead of just sentence writing, and understand it what context they're trying to relate it to. So
Right.
breaking down it and active recalling them and understanding what they want to say.
So, Rituja, tell me, how do you stay organized with keeping track in all these? When we come by 10th grade, biology becomes like a big syllabus and all of these definitions and all of these things. So, how do we keep the concepts straight, and how do we, keep a concept in a box? So, while keeping a paper, like writing a paper, we understand which concept to apply where.
Yeah. So what you can do is till 10th, there are many variety of chapters. You have body systems, but they are not related to each other, and also plant systems. So in that, what you could do is you try to make flow diagrams or mind mappings. You
Right.
could do that. And in biology, it's usually like there's one topic, and in that you have variety of things.
Yeah.
So what you could do is you can have categorized notes, and in that you can like main big sections like about genetics or about pollination or any human body system. So in one page only you can like about a specific topic, you can have that in that pointers only, and you could keep it really short. So
Right.
you could neglect the vague reading time and only have the short keywords which they want, and always have in that context only.
Right. So, can you also tell us, being in ninth grade, we have all these practicals before our exam.
Yes.
So, these practicals, lab reports, and all of these experiments, how do we understand them, and how do we actually, score our best while taking all these practicals out of biology?
So mostly practical is we have ATP, right?
Yeah.
So in that, it's usually if you see the questions, they are all related to each other. You see many past papers,
Yeah.
they are already somewhat related. What they want is keywords. That is what important for them. The main thing is understanding what the question says and what they exactly want, and writing based on that. Even if you write sentence writing, that doesn't really help unless and until you have a
Yeah.
keyword in it. So ATP, what you could do is you can go through many questions, many past papers, keep solving them, and understand like this type of question. If they ask about temperature or maybe some sources like sources of error. So in that, it's always 1 or 2 points like temperature
Yeah.
is changing. So it's always about thermostatically controlled water bath.
Yeah.
You see, there are always related. One point will always have that one answer.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that you make pointers and point out what they want exactly in that answer.
So, in say 8th, 9th, 10th, we have a paper which is all combined with MCQs, practical, like the structured questions, and ATP. So, when we go solving at these questions, what problem we find is we run out of time as we go solving them. So, where do we start from?
You first review the questions.
Yeah.
First, when you get the paper, you go through all the pages and all. You see what type of questions, what chapters they are coming from. So you understand. You know somewhere where you study, you know that
Yeah.
okay, I have maybe focused on body system chapters, maybe in digestive. So you know that idea is very clear to you. So
Yeah.
you can start one by one question, one to one page, and you think that okay, this is a very long answer. It will take me time, and I may take I may take time to think like
Right.
what are the keywords and what I have to write exactly. So you can skip that later. You can start with one word answer. You know that okay, these 3 points, 3 marks ke liye hai. I know these 3 pointers. Just write it down. So it's like whatever easier questions you have, you complete that, and then you go to the main, very big type of questions like the graph and everything.
Yeah. So, we have this problem while studying biology is sometimes we just don't have this time to study biology, and it's that one night before the exam where you have this short 1 hour span. So, how do we cover most amount of topics in this short span while we're studying?
Okay, so mostly it's always a common thing. Like even I
Yeah.
used to do that late night,
Yeah.
just reading and revising all the chapters, like staying up till 3 or 4 o'clock.
Because
And
you
just,
feel very
Yeah.
exhausted, plus you have the stress of performing.
right, exactly. So even I used to do that, like staying up till 3 or 4 and like just revising instead of solving past papers, or maybe just going through
Yeah.
it mentally or just sleeping as well. It's always you do that. It's very common.
Right.
But I would say you shouldn't be doing that because after coming to college, I've realized even if I study at night at 3 or 4 o'clock, waking up
Yeah.
at the exam, what I've studied at last night, I don't remember. Also,
Yeah.
there are some times like that. So and also like the last minute revision, what you have, you should make sure that you don't study for like at least 30 to 45 minutes before the exam, because that will make you exhaust your mind
Yeah.
more. Instead of revising it, you just keep on adding more information and information that
Right.
will make you exhaust your brain. So what you should do is, like when you're traveling in rickshaw, you can revise the concept in your mind. Don't look at the book, just keep on revising in your mind whatever
Right.
you know. It's fine. Now you don't have time, right?
Yeah.
So whatever you know, you try revising that, and always have the long term strategy. Like you have one before your exam, start with breaking down the points. So you know that okay, now this is important, this has a main exam weightage. You can do that first and revise it by active recalling, or maybe teaching someone, or like maybe keeping your soft toy, or if you have a
Yeah.
dog and you just keep on blabbering in front of him. So you could do things like that instead of just going always late night dragging up and everything.
Yeah. So, personally, I feel most of the students in our grade find respiration and these all concepts of, biological processes, photosynthesis very difficult. So, how do we break down this topic into parts?
As I said, make categorized notes. You could make proper notes, like if they are, now you make the main topic as photosynthesis.
Yeah.
And then all pointers you have, like in sequences, of course, because sequence is what matters.
Yeah.
So in sequences, you make notes. You make sure that what is important. You write the keywords.
Right.
You make the sequences, break it down. You
Yeah.
visualize it, that what is happening actually. You keep in your mind like okay, the water is going up to the roots and it's going to the xylem and it's going to the leaves. The main keywords what they want, you keep on visualizing it. So it helps you to keep it in mind, and also how the flow is going. So
Yeah.
that will help you, one. And the second is you should always have like an active recalling thing. That has made wonders for me. So always recall it, like after you have read it like once or two times, you make sure that you recall it yourself, not looking at the book. It can be a part of rote learning, but you should make sure that you visualize it. It will go on the wrong track. Then you'll always be rote learning things, and that won't help. So you should
Right.
always have it like visualizing it. You can
Yeah.
do mind maps or diagrams. Your notes always lacks diagrams. It's
Yeah.
always reading. That doesn't make sense. You just keep on seeing words and then
Yeah.
you just blabber. Your
Yeah,
mind gets
you just,
fogged
like,
up.
Blank out.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
mind gets fogged up and you don't know what ahead, and you get exhausted and you start procrastinating.
Right.
So that is like a very hectic way to do it. So what you could do is, even if you're not good at diagrams like drawing and everything, what you could do is just make simple however you understand. You can make it that way, or maybe have some printouts made so that you can do it. Like refer to the diagrams instead of always
Right.
having words and all, and keep on revising, visualizing. It helps you a lot.
Right. So, going towards the last question for today, tell me, so while preparing for these exams, we take generally 2 hours a day to, sum up and study. So, we take a half an hour for biology from these 2 hours. How do I ensure I cover all topics without getting a burnout?
Okay, so what you could do is, I have always preferred and I've always taken short breaks in between my study sessions, because it's always me getting either distracted or not having the proper
Yeah.
concentration I was having in the first 5 minutes. So it's better to always have like few 5 minutes break, just get out,
Yeah.
from chair and just move around and then look at things and talk to your mom. Just get out of the zone for a while and come back and study again. You can take short breaks, and you should make very short notes. Like in textbooks and all, if you see, there are
Right.
so many resources we have. Like we have a textbook itself,
Yeah.
Save My Exams, PMT. There are so many various sites. So in that, what you could do is you should have limited resources. So where there's all necessary information. So
Right.
always have one textbook, one
Yeah.
proper notebook, and in that you should have all your information in that itself. Like biologically, I have this book. Everything is in that book, and it has to be very short, full of diagrams. So
Right.
it's easier. Like you just see through it, you just scan through it, and you know what's written. So you're just revising. That is a quick revision you have. And instead of only reading it out, you should test your brain and see. Okay, now genetics. They are asking what must have I written the genetics topic.
Yeah.
So you know that whatever you have, you could do that. And the second thing is like reading, it becomes very hectic and your mind gets fogged up.
Yeah.
So instead, in 10th and 9th also, solving past papers is really important.
Right.
Like how many past papers you solve, now you get to know what type of questions they are asking
Yeah.
and what keywords they want. Like MSs, they
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what are the keywords. So even if you write sentences, if you don't have the keyword, you won't get the mark. So instead, you should focus on keywords and writing what the main important point is, and that will help you by solving past papers.
Right.
You might know all this theory part and everything, but unless and until you don't solve past papers, you won't get the exact score you want.
Yeah.
And also, past paper is like something different. It can be fun also, like answering the questions and like keeping
Huh.
your mind in testing instead of just reading and you feel like, oh my god, I don't know this, I should revise this more. That's
Yeah.
more tensing. So instead, you have the MS open with you, solve past papers. And also not being constrained to biology. You should like, I've understood after coming to college, like when I was a kid, I was a person who was late night studying 3 or 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
3 and 4 o'clock, maybe not having my dinner properly at time, or maybe just sitting at one place and just keep on revising it. So you should always be disciplined, even if it's an exam. Either sleep at 12 or 1. That is like something
Yeah.
we can't sleep at 10. That's not at all possible for me as well. But not take it too long, not stressing yourself for too long. You should take minimal breaks, as well as keep drinking water. And I prefer to have 1 or 2 hours of physical activity. I used to walk my dog and play basketball. So that was like a very good stress reliever for me. So these are the points like I went through, and that really helped me now in college. Like maybe if I could do it in 10, like I realized it, maybe I could have scored better or something.
Right.
But then in college, it's really helping me. But still, it's like somewhere you need to work on. And last thing is biology. It's a subject where you have to give it your time. You have to give it the hard work to memorize it. So active recalling, teaching someone, or maybe mind mappings and everything. These are
Yeah.
really important. And whatever time you are giving, if you think 2 hours, okay, 2 hours I'm giving to biology, so you have to make sure in 2 hours whatever I have in target, that I have to complete the whole revision, you have to complete it. So like that way your note should be short and simple.
Right.
So you have to make sure that everything is done within the time
Yeah.
frame and time management.
So as you speak about these diagrams, can you give us a last tip? Because we know we have a time constraint. Give us a last tip on how do we, remember all these things in the diagram? Because at the end of the year, we have so many diagrams to see through. How do we remember the part in the diagram? As in labeling.
Okay, now let me give you an example of
Yeah.
DNA replication
Yeah.
what we have, and protein synthesis.
Right.
Now, in that, you see that first it goes from nucleus to the ribosome. So that there are many keywords in that, like
Right.
the DNA gets split up and the mRNA comes and then replicates it and it goes out of that. So what you do is you can make step-by-step diagrams, like first, showing that what is happening,
Right.
and at the side of it, you can just label it at what's happening, like 1, 2, 3, 4 pointers, and you can show that okay, first sequence is this, then it goes there, and then it goes there. So you know, okay, like how it's going, and you visualize it. Like you have a diagram. If you are good at visualizing it, then you can see like okay, you visualize the nucleus is there and it's replicating, and then the
Yeah.
step by step, if you keep on recalling it actively in your mind, that will help you.
Right.
Only looking at diagrams also won't help you, right? So you need to see what's happening exactly, and contemplating it, like how it has to be exactly.
All right. Thank you so much for coming and giving us your time. It was an amazing time. I hope everyone listening benefits from it.
Thank you so much for
All right,
inviting me.
thank
It was a
you.